This is the I Love Success podcast. I'm Peter Jumrukovski, and I have made a vow to myself to help as many people as possible to achieve their dreams. Let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome back to the I Love Success podcast. This is the podcast where I meet the coolest and most successful people on the planet and share their stories. I'm glad to be on this journey together with you. What started as an idea has now become the start of a movement. My mission is to help 10 million people in 10 years to achieve their dreams. I can't do it myself, and because of that, I'm so grateful to all my amazing guests and listeners from all over the world. Thank you. Get ready to get inspired, because here we go. But before we get started, let's give it up to our sponsor, Heston's Beds in Los Angeles. Heston's has always been driven by a passion for sleep and the many benefits it brings for the body and soul. Sleep on a Heston's bed is sleep that makes a difference in the quality of your life. Sleep that allows you to function at your optimal best, a natural process that cannot be replicated bought over a counter or swallowed in a pill. A Heston's bed is defined by its comfort and support, breathability, and the ability to regulate your body's temperature while you sleep. While many beds contain a variety of chemicals, glues, latexes, and foam, Heston's beds are handcrafted with exclusively all natural materials to create the perfect night's sleep. If you are serious about success, you should be serious about your sleep, and Heston's can help you. Check them out at hestonsla.com. Today's guest is a boxer from Panama who now fights out of Freddie Roach Wildcard Boxing Club in Los Angeles, California. He started training boxing in Panama at age 6, and now 19 years later he is still boxing and sees bright on his future as an athlete. He has over 100 fights as an amateur and almost 20 as a pro, and even though he's ferocious in the ring, he is also well known for his funny dancing and fitness videos on social media with his girlfriend Gemma Marin and their daughter Alexandra. His name is Israel Bumaye Duffus. Welcome, Israel.
Hey, well, thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity to share all my experience, ups and downs, all my dreams. So
yeah, I'm so glad to have you here today. We know each other from before, and we'll talk about that as well. But let's start with Israel. Who are you really as a person?
Well, my name is Israel Duffus. I come from the neighborhood in Panama, call it San Miguelito, and River Down. I started boxing pretty early because that was the only way to survive in the hood, because all we do, the first thing we do is fight. So one day I was fighting, and one of the guys around told my mom, "Hey, why you don't bring your son to the gym?" Right? And then from there is when that passion for boxing started. Yeah.
So do you remember your first time in the boxing club?
My first time in the boxing club, yeah, actually, yeah. There was a bunch of guys that was doing shadow boxing. I didn't know how to do that, but I was just trying to follow the group, And they immediately, right away, made me do a sparring, like fight with another guy with more experience than me, And I was like, okay, this is fine, so let's go fight. The guy, he beat me so bad. Oh my God, I was crying. I remember I was crying, and I go back to my place so mad. I go back to my house so mad, but that was the intention of my mom, because my mom, she did that to try to make me don't fight no more, So when I go back to my house, I was so mad that create the opposite reaction.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I have to go back there and beat the guy at least one time. And then I was doing, and the second time I've been in the gym, they beat me twice. And I was so mad. Then finally one day I beat the guy, And then from there, it was like, no, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. The shirt, the claps, the energy, the adrenaline that day was so big to me, you know. So I was like, no, this is what I want to do. And then from there is when I become boxing. Besides that, I did a lot of sport. I've been into. I always be a very athlete guy. I did soccer, triathlon, marathon, every kind of sport, you name it, and I've been there. So
it's kind of interesting because you're 6 years old in this boxing gym. You fought another kid that's fought more, and most kids would just give up and cry. You know, like your mom thought, and he's gonna calm down, but you wanted to fight more, and I think that is a trait that defines a champion in some way. Why do you think you had that as a 6-year-old?
Because that's as I say, that was the only way to survive. If you don't show the guys how to respect you, they're gonna beat you for the rest of your life. If you don't wanna be the weakest guy, you know, you build that. You have to build that protection very early. It knows only me, the rest of the guy. So when you grow up in this kind of place, when you grow in this kind of place, everybody is the same way. You're trying to create that protection, to build that protection, to protect yourself.
So was it a poor area you grew up in?
I grew up in my mom lose her house twice because I don't know how to say in English. Sorry, because my English, but you know when the rain is so hard and then the waters go all the way up.
Oh, like
so my mom, that happened to my place twice.
Yeah.
So our house was gone twice.
Oh wow.
So imagine how pure was that, you know? Everybody have to wait until the water is gone.
Yeah.
You know? Put the mattress to dry again. Yeah. You have to wait till the mattress dry. While that happens, you have to see where you're gonna sleep. Any corner. Wow, the government, they show up and they give some dry food, whatever, but this is just for the moment. They don't help you for forever. Yeah. Just for the TV. Yeah. They give you some dry food and things like that, you know. So I think all the kind of stuff, all that small big things make you stronger. Yeah. Make you the strongest one. So when you in this kind of situation, when you're in this kind of place, where I am right now, is what I think on all of that. So that's what make me do it again and again and again in trying to always improve myself, you know, trying to always be better. Yeah. Because I remember of the struggles.
Yeah. I think it's important to never forget where you come from, right?
Exactly, that is the key. And the moment that you forget where you come from, then you don't have nothing to fight for. Yeah. If you forget where you come from, exactly how you begin, or for what you begin, you don't have, you stop, you forget what are you fighting for. Yeah. So you don't have motivation no more. So I always keep that in my mind. It's not only for me. Yeah. See, I keep that in my mind for all the child who are passing for who are having that life right now, who had that life at that moment when I was over there in Panama. You know.
So why do you fight?
I fight. Well, the real reason was, as every ghetto youth, for every ghetto youth is for buy a home for your mom. Yeah. It's funny. Everybody do that. Everybody. You ask whoever kid come from the ghetto, why you were playing soccer, why you were doing this, for why you were playing basketball, for why you were fighting. And the first thing they're gonna say, because I wanna give my mom a new house. Yeah. Because you're tired of living in or be living in a shitty house or in an ugly house. But yeah, that's the reason. Well, after that, when you start discover the world, you discover are more things than just buy a house to your mom.
Yeah.
You know, you discover the pure countries, the real pure countries. You discover it's too much corruption around the world. You discover it's too much monopoly in the sport.
Yeah.
You discover too much thing than just to buy a house for your mom.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think we're gonna talk more about that, because coming here to America, you had a good idea what's gonna be, but it didn't end up exactly like you thought it would be, right? But let's talk a little bit more about Panama, because I watched Hands of Stone and you're in it. You're fighting Roberto Duran, and it was interesting watching Roberto Duran, and this icon for everybody knows him in Panama, right? Almost like was he like an icon?
He's like can be any president in Panama. He always gonna be the president of the hood.
And when I was watching this movie, I saw I almost fell in love in Panama. It was so beautiful, so much dancing and culture, and I've seen that with you. You're always doing this dancing, and I remember when I met you. We're gonna talk about this later, but when you were in the toughest position in your life, you still had a smile, you know, and to have that for me is something really special, and I think it's part of who you are, but it's also maybe a little bit part of the Panamanian culture, right?
It's because you know what, we always have in mind like always is something that is come to you already. Yeah. That's part of you already. It's like what can be worse? Yeah. If you in the bad position already, so what can be worse? Yeah. So hey, at least I can dance, at least I can make jokes, at least I can make fun of something, because what can be worse? We in the bad position already. I'm talking about when you are in the hood already. I'm talking about when you are in the ghetto already. So what else can be worse of that? What can be worse of that? So why you wanna start blame or cry about something that is bad already? You know, so the only thing we have to do is trying to make up a little bit with the fun, with the dance, with the music, with the jokes, with all the kind of stuff, you know. So
I remember my parents are from Macedonia. That's my native country, even though I grew up in Sweden, and they didn't have a lot. So when candy for them was sugar, like rolling up a paper and having sugar sometimes. And football, they made a football of clothes. They didn't, they didn't have, but they had a lot of fun. Yeah, and they had family. So talk about what has been the best part of growing up in Panama.
The best part of all of that, because Panama, as every place, Panama have the richest part of Panama. And I'm pretty sure those kids don't know anything about the real struggle, but they still grow up in Panama. And I don't blame them for that. That's just their parents maybe or their grandparents take a better decision than our parents or things like that. But the best part of growing Panama in the lowest part on the bottom, as people say, is that you learn the value of the small things. You learn the value of the small things. You learn the value of a spoon. A plastic spoon with lights. That's something incredible. This is magic. And how a spoon can have a light. Or how a spoon can have a Mickey Mouse in a spoon. That's crazy. You know, a skateboard. The skateboard. For us, have a skateboard. The skateboard at that in Panama when I was child was like I don't know, $15, $15 or $20. If we save and we take care of that skateboard till we was like 15 years old, because we don't want to mess that skateboard, because we know how hard mom and dad work to buy us that skateboard, you know. So we learn the small, we learn the value of a small thing of our parent, and I think that is the best part. Now I'm here and I I don't say I have money, but I say I can have things. I can work and have the money to buy things that I like, that I want to try, that I want to eat. But you know, but I still I think to spend that money. Yeah. So I still have that thing to take care of the money. Yeah. It's not just okay. I want that. I work for this. Okay, let's go buy this. Yeah. No, it's not that easy for me. For other people, maybe yeah. It's just okay. Let's go there and buy this. Yeah. But no, we take care of. I still take care of that, and I learned how I learned that because when I was child, we have that value for the small things, for the work, for the effort. We have that value for everything.
Do you think you can lose that? Let's say you become a world champion boxer and started making millions. Do you think you will lose that, like a lot of fighters do?
If I think that can happen, that will happen already. Already. As I say, I didn't have that kind of money of really champions already, but I had the money that I don't have before. I had the money that I didn't have before, and I didn't spend in that way. You know what I'm saying?
You have respect for the money.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I was thinking because how hard it was for me to get the money. Yeah. It's not make sense for me. It's not fair for me. Go and run every morning, go to the gym, and 3 hours, kill myself over there, and then fight and win. And when they pay me, throw all the money away, and forget all the effort, how I suffered to get all the money. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah, no, you're so right.
So I think that is the best thing of grow up in those kind of places. Yeah. It have his bad parts, but you learn. Yeah,
no, I love that. So you were fighting for many years as an amateur. You decided to go pro. You had success, and then talk us through why did you decide to come to America?
When I make the national team, when I did the national team, I have a lot of mentors. I think that's the key of everything. Yeah. Mentors. Kids with mentors, they can go far, really far. And listen. It's not hard for the kid to listen because he don't know how to listen. Yeah. You need somebody to teach you how to listen. Yeah. But once you learn how to listen, you can go as far as you want. Yeah. Right? So when I start learn how to listen, I start learn about about so many things. About how to respect yourself, how to make to respect yourself, how to make people respect you without arrogance, how to make people respect you, right? So when I was doing everything in boxing things, it started getting better pretty fast. At that age, 15 years old, I did a national thing, and then I started winning medals, all these things, and then I start think like, hey, I knew how the corruption was in my country already. I know how bad the corruption was in my country already. And then I say, you know what? If I keep fighting in Panama, I don't gonna go too far. And I see the other champions already, the other fighters already, how they end their career. They was so glorious in my country, but they was still living in the hood. You know, so I was like, something is wrong here. You can be that famous, you can be that good, and still be living in the ghetto. Something is not right here. You know, the math is not correct here. You know, it's like how you can be that famous as singers. Famous singers, or more famous than some singers, but those singers are doing better things and living better than you, who are killing yourself in the ring, fighting for your life in the ring, and you are still living in the ghetto. right? So I was like, you know what? My decision was like, I don't gonna sign with nobody in Panama. Nobody. That was when I was in amateur. Was like, I don't wanna sign nobody in Panama. No. Once I turn to pro, I'm out of here. Once I turn pro, I'm out of here, and that was what was happening.
Yeah.
I'm here. So when I decided to turn pro after the Olympic Games of 2012, it started coming the contracts for turn pro from Panama in other place. And once I hear the offer from another place outside of my country, I was like, I started studying the offers, and then I say, I'm out of here.
Weren't you afraid to leave your family?
I start fight out of Panama pretty early.
Yeah.
The second travel out of Panama was the worst for me. The worst and the best. The worst because it was the longest travel at that age, 15 years old. Imagine a guy from 15 years old living in Italy, 6 months. Never been. It is not something that just a guy with 15 years old from Panama. No, it's a guy from the hood who don't know nothing else just than listen bullets at night and fight and the worst you can imagine.
Yeah.
And go to those kind of country, Italy.
Yeah.
And live 6 months.
Yeah.
Over there, 3 months in Milan and in Rome, 3 months in Milano.
Yeah.
The first week, I was the most happy guy in the world. I was the most happy. The first week, I was so happy. I was like, damn, I make it. I'm here, 15 years old. I'm here in Italy. That was the first time I saw Ferrari everywhere, Lamborghini everywhere. I was like, oh my God, I'm dreaming. Yeah. And then that was the first week. Yeah. Then second week, I was crying and I want to go. I miss my mom. I was crying and crying. Then I made a couple of friends of the kitchen. Yeah. And then that was when I started busy myself. I go there, help with the dishes, trying to make friends around, and then that was when
So you were there preparing for the World Championships, right?
Or, was we was in a training camp first, and then we moved to Milano, and there was the major World Championship of amateur, and that was only the second time I was out of Panama. Supposed to be when you go to those kind of tournaments, you have to have a lot of experience. Yeah. A lot of experience to be there, but I make it.
Yeah. Wow. So you got all these contracts and you found one. You decided to come to LA, or what happened?
I got this contract. The first time I came to USA was for a training camp too. Also, the first time when I came to USA was for training camp with Sergio Maravilla Martinez. He was a champion at that time. He was one of the best middleweight at the time. He's an Argentinian guy. Then I did that, and then I go back to Panama, and then when all this thing with the movie start. When I went back to Panama, I start work as a modeling, model and other kind of stuff, TV commercial. And then the movie come, and then I did the movie, and then from the movie I made my ex-manager, and she promised me the world. She promised me so many things. Oh my God!
How old were you at that point?
I was 20 already. I was 20 already.
20. So. How does it feel for because I know in the fighting world, music, all of those things, when there's talent, there's so many people making money in this business, right? Yeah. So it's hard when you're that young to make the right decisions, right? Because you see this contract and you hear all of this, but you're just happy to have a contract, right? At that point, it's just like when they sign a famous singer. Exactly. At that point you will sign almost anything, and then you realize, oh wow, what happened? Exactly. So you were promised, and you came here to train with Freddie Roach.
To train, to work, as everything, because how I made her in the movie, I thought it was for the same reason I came here, to work, to fight, because I was not fighting at that time. Yeah. And then I was more a little bit focused in the movie industry, in the modeling industry, because I was working in a modeling agency company.
In Panama?
In Panama.
Yeah.
A pretty big model agency company. Then when I met her is when I decided, okay, well, I can get my career, my boxing career back. Yeah. And she promised me that. And she promised me I can be in USA modeling and acting, yeah, and fighting. Yeah. Right? At that time I didn't have the visa work. I don't have that. You know, that's almost impossible to work in USA. Yeah. You can sell orange and apples in the street, yeah, without visa, yeah, work. But you can go and say, I want to do a movie with Sylvester Stallone, yeah, without visa. That's impossible. That's not going to work like that. Yeah. And then that was the first thing, yeah, the first war I find out when I came here. I didn't have the visa work. So I spent almost 1 year without work, yeah, just living at her place and having fun. I was training, yeah,
but no fighting.
Yeah. I was completely okay because I don't have to spend any kind of money. I don't have to spend any money. Yeah. She was paying for everything. I don't have to spend money in the rent, in the food, and nothing. Yeah. But I can work. And I was blind for that. Yeah. And I was blind. I was like, okay, if I am having fun, so what I have to complain about it? I have nothing to complain about it. But at some point, I just stopped. The club just stopped. It's like, wait a minute. I'm supposed to came here to work. I'm supposed to come here to do acting and movies and modeling and boxing. And I'm not doing anything of those things that she said. And at some point, she's gone. At some point, this is over. And what about me? Go back to Panama with my hands empty, just like that. And then I start do questions. I start make questions. Hey, why is not this? Hey, why not this? And then she start feel depression, you know? She start feel depression. And then start show her own self. And then I just realized that there was full of lies. Yeah. Too many lies. And I start take care of myself, decide for myself, yeah, if she don't like that. Yeah. If once I start take care of myself, and decide for myself, have my own decisions, take my own decisions, and then she said, okay, we don't work no more. If you want to do whatever you want to do, okay, do it. But you gotta go, you have to go out of the country. Yeah. She started with all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Because immigration, they don't play, and this, and then she started trying to scare me with the government. I was like, hey, I have everything right here. I didn't done anything wrong. I just trained. I'm living here waiting for you. Tell me what I have to do. Where is the work? What is the job?
So you didn't have any fights at that point?
I was fighting. I did in 2 years. I did a 3 fight, something like that. In 2 years, I did a 3 fight. Yeah. Those 3 fights was illegal. It was a right fight in the big shows. I don't want to name the company. It wasn't the big show, but under the table, you know, I was getting paycheck, yeah, for charity, like a charity. Yeah. I was not getting the right money, yeah, you know. So I was just the entertainment.
Yeah. So how did that feel? Because I remember when I met you, at one point you didn't even have a home, right? Mm-hmm. So what happened? How because I think there's a lot of people coming with dreams in sport, and then all of a sudden you're standing there. You were 23 at that point. Yeah, 23, and you don't have a home, and you're so far away from your family. How did you react to that?
I was without nothing, like zero. Like when I say zero, the point that you see, I was sleeping at the gym, at the floor. Thanks God I have at least a floor to sleep, at least a place to sleep. But I didn't never expect that I would be in a position when I went in my country, the place that you can sleep in the beach. You can have a desert beach only for you. You know, to be
you came here to become a champion, right?
And to be a champion, to be a star, to be an actor, to be all these things that she say. Because when you are when you grow up, this is another thing. When you grow up in those kind of place, Hollywood is far away. It's so far for you. It's so far. This is just a dream. So much of the people from the ghetto, they die dreaming with Disneyland. When I came here, I have the opportunity to just decide whenever I want to go to Disneyland. When the first time I went in Disneyland, my mind was, I was dreaming. I was like, I can't believe I'm in Disneyland by myself. Grown man already as me, and then in the Disneyland like a child. So happy.
So let's talk about people. They're dreaming about this, and you dreamt about it. Someone is promising you a lot, and there you are all of a sudden. Thank God to Marcus, right? Our friend that took you in, and you had somewhere to stay. But how, like, can you just talk us through that? How does that feel? You know, you come here with so many dreams, and then all of a sudden you're alone in a dark gym sleeping there. You know, how did that feel?
Yeah, as you say, I was completely alone. Even when I was at her place, I was completely alone, because you have no family, no friends, and the only close person I have at that time was the secretary of her, who was a Latina, who is a Latina too, so we can talk in Spanish. And it was easy for me to talk in Spanish with her, you know. So she support me. She know how hard it is come from the place like that to make it in America, right? So she say, okay, I can help you. I have some friends who maybe can help you. And then there was the moment when I met Marcos. When I meet Marcos, and the guy, he just say, without knowing me, he just opened the doors of his place, of his gym. I was so happy. I was so happy to have at least a place to stay, to have a place to sleep. But at the same time, at night, all the demons, all those things in your head, so many questions for you. It's like, why do I have to be in this position? I never asked for being in this position. You don't ask for disgrace. You don't ask for bad times. You don't ask for any of those things, you know. But at the same time, that make you stronger and stronger and stronger, because I don't know if say a revenge for
pain, like a fire. It's a fire inside.
To show that even when they're trying to put you down, to see you fall, you still have the strength to get up and become what you were dreaming to be, you know. So I think being in a place helped me to realize the meanings of the friendship, the meanings of the goals. What a real goal is, you know. What is it really? The dedication is. You know, the meaning of the decision, what the decision is, you know, and all the things come together And now here I am. I was pretty shy at that time. I have a girlfriend. I was pretty shy to tell her I'm living in a gym and sleeping in the floor.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because girls, at the end of the day, girls need a protection, need a man, not a guy who can afford a place to sleep.
Yeah.
So I was doing everything in my hands to trying to get out of that position, of this situation, of that situation. As you see, I was in the gym. I was trying to have a little bit with the gym. I was doing a gardener. I never say in my country, never think in my country, okay, I go to USA. I never say that. I go to USA to be a gardener.
No.
But at some point you have to do anything just to move one step, to get better.
No, I love that with you, and that's why I really wanted to have you on the podcast. I've been thinking about this for a long time, because when we met, I was working with Marcus as well, and I get to spend time with you there and talking to you at that point. And one thing that I was so happy with a guy like you, I was thinking a lot, why did this happen to this guy, you know? Such a good guy, but it happened.
Yeah,
but
it happened. You don't ask for that.
But it happened. But the difference is, you didn't give up.
Exactly.
You know, that to go through what you did, I saw you coming from like working long days. Your hands were all dirty. I was like, this guy, he's supposed to punch with his hands.
Exactly.
And so I was thinking about this, like, wow. But he doesn't give up. So I was so happy. And now when I see you now, like a couple of years later, every day when I see like the dancing videos you do with your girlfriend and your daughter, I was like, I'm so happy for you. You know, it feels so good that your life is going forward.
You're never gonna know who is the right person for you. That just happened. I never knew she was the right person for me. I never knew she was the one for me. You know? And then at some point I was just tired to be hiding all this kind of things, you know?
Emotions.
Exactly. At some point it's like, hey, I can't no more. I have to say the truth. And I really like her. If she really like me as I like her, she will understand. If no, well, have to happen, and I will understand. If she don't accept that, then we just start talking and say like, hey, this is what is going on. I'm not the guy that, because you know what, people get so confused with me at some time because they see all the pictures, they see me as a handsome guy, athletic guy with the six packs and all this thing. But this is just the cover, you know. And the very inside, I'm the normal person, the regular person. I'm the work hard person, you know. And then a lot of the girls see me as say, oh, that guy, look, he have to be doing really good, really well, because how he looks, how he dressed. And I would say, being in a bad position, being in the worst place, that don't have to be excuses to looks bad. I don't have to look bad.
Yeah.
You always have to have the presence.
Yeah.
You know, have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
To go to another person. If you go for a job and you are in a bad position, you can go without shower or your hair can be done and ask for work, they're gonna say no, obviously.
Of course.
But if you in a bad position, but at least you dress up, they're gonna say, oh, look at this guy, at least he dresses, he have a good presence.
Yeah.
He can work, you know. So most of the people think when they see me working hard in the gym, or they see me when the pictures and all these things, they think I'm doing very, very good. I'm not doing that very, very good. I just take care of myself.
Yeah.
I just take care of myself. Because from there is when I take opportunities. From there.
No, you're so
When
right.
the people see, at least they can talk with you. If you look good, at least I can have a good conversation with this guy. But if they see you bad, they don't even will say, hey, good morning or something like that.
That's why I want to share this, because people don't know. They can see you. Yeah, this guy has done more than 100 fights. He's knocking everybody out.
Exactly.
But man, you have fought. You came from Panama. You came here. You were even homeless at one time, but
Exactly.
you're still in the game.
Exactly.
99% of people would have gone home and given up, but you're here and now you have a beautiful family. So let's talk about mindset. So how do you work with your mind as a fighter and as a human being? Because I think to be able to do all the things that you have done, you must be strong mentally.
For me, I think what works is that I have a goal in my mind, and I would never. I have a promise in my mind, and I would never let anybody or anything to break that goal in my mind. That goal is one, as I say, to buy a pretty beautiful house for my mom. That I will do definitely. And the other is like, I came from the hood. I don't want to die there. You don't decide. You don't decide. Born in the hood. You don't decide that. But what you can decide is die in the hood. And I don't want to die there. No. So that's what I'm working for. I'm working for a better place. Working for better things. Yeah. It's not because I'm from the hood, I have to destine myself to be there for the rest of my life.
But why boxing? Why don't you do something else?
Now I can see other things myself. But this is the first thing when you start. That's where I start. That's what I do better. That's what I think boxing for me today is the key. For me, boxing is the key. Now I can do other things. Yeah. Now I can do.
But the key that opened the doors.
That opened the doors. Acting or work or everything, everywhere for me is the boxing.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's for me, karate.
Yeah.
It has opened all the doors. You know, that's why I'm sitting here today. And also the mindset. You know, I think whatever happens, what I've gone through, it have given me the strength to handle everything. You know, and to be able to say that, you know. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Just like you bring it on. That's a great feeling, right? Because most people, they want to be this strong, but the only way to become strong is to go through fire, right?
Exactly.
So one thing that I ask all my guests about their morning routines, because I think mornings are very important. What's your opinion about mornings, and what do you do in the mornings?
In the morning, I always say thanks to God, because you know what? I'm not the most religious guy, but I am one of the guys who have the most strong faith. I have faith. Man, that's something incredible. I have faith, and I don't know what, but I have faith.
What do you believe in?
I grew up in a family in a religious family. My mom, she is evangelic, but I also did the Catholic school, church, something like that. So I grew up with the Catholic and evangelics, both. I learned to always be grateful. Yeah. I was to be grateful for absolutely everything, for the good and for the bad. For the good, because thanks to the good you can move forward, and for the bad, because that makes you stronger. To go to the good things. So I would say every morning I say thanks. I take a time to say thanks to God, to ask for help with my family, to have my family well, you know, save my family, all this kind of thing, and then ready to go run.
You run every morning?
Yeah, every morning I have to run.
So when do you wake up in the mornings?
You know, I used to have a really bad sleep before my baby, because I don't even sleep before the baby. But after the baby, man, everything changed. Now I want to sleep every day.
Yeah. So you run, and what else do you do?
And then I run, go back, and then my wife, she go to the gym, and I take care of the baby. And then when she come back, I go to the gym.
Yeah.
I go to the gym, and then come back, and we eat something, and then the social media things. We didn't talk about the social media, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. You guys are Insta famous.
Man, that was so crazy. She just one day is like, hey, let's dance. She likes music. She's a dancer. She's a professional dancer. I'm just.
Is it your wife or your girlfriend?
She is my girlfriend, but you have a baby.
Let's call it wife. Yeah,
exactly.
So you're gonna propose?
No, yeah. You know, we're excited with the interview. You know, as motivation, as all the kind of stuff. If you don't stop to believe, if you always believe in things gonna work out very well. To have a baby is not an easy word. Have a baby is not that easy. You have to be pretty good economic, or at least have established. To have a baby. Right? You can be without money and planning to have a baby. Right? And I was in not that good position to have a baby at that time. But I always believe that things gonna work out. I always believe that things gonna work out. She always believed in me. Right? The first thing that happened, I got a fight in Russia. By the end of the year, right before the Christmas. That was the first thing that happened. I was like, wow. Yeah, I was out of the boxing for almost 1 year, sleeping at the gym, working as a gardener and all this stuff. I was training, but not that hard, like to be in the fight game again. But you know what? You have to take the risk. Sometimes you have to take the risk. You have to take the risk. You always have to take the risk. You know, have to take the opportunities. And I took it. And then from there, it started everything. Now I was a little bit better with the money. You know, I was, my motivation started getting stronger and stronger again, right? Then the communication with my girlfriend was even better. Now she know everything. Right?
Was it hard for you to not tell her?
Yeah, it was pretty hard for me. It was pretty hard for me because I was feeling embarrassing. I was feeling, you know.
So what advice would you want to give to other guys? Because there's a lot of guys, they're not telling the truth to their girlfriends, right? And I think a lot of times it's because you're ashamed, right? Do you have any advice for those
listen,
people?
you gotta be honest. You gotta be honest. It's nothing better to be honest to your girl, to your partner. If she love her as you love her, if she take care of you as you take care of her, she will understand. That's it. If she not, well, this is not. That it's not. Now you have to find the right time to say the things. You have to find the right time. It's not just, hey, you know what, I'm a broke and I don't have money and this don't want to work out and you want to still be with me, yes or no? No, it doesn't work like that. You have to explain step by step absolutely everything, and that's how I did. Make her understand my point. I leave her the option, not the option. I leave her the decision to be with me or no. But at least I explain absolutely everything to her in the most nicest and lovely way that I can. And then she completely understands. She started crying and she's like, why you didn't tell me that before? What she did? Okay, you go to my place. You go to my place. And I was like, wow, if I go to your place, I don't have the money to pay for it. She's like, don't worry about it. Let's start to get better. How to find a work, a better things, and then once you get better, and then we share the the bills at home. And I was like, wow, that can be possible, you know. But it was.
That's a good woman.
But it wasn't possible. And then now we have a baby. How no, listen. How if nobody love you or really take care of you will decide to have a baby with you? That don't happen just like that. No, you have to be somebody who really love you. She did. We talk about it. If not that I did without tell her, no. We talk about that. And the other thing was like she loved babies like crazy. And I love baby. I don't know if you can see with the Liam baby. Man, I love baby like oh my God, I was dreaming with a baby. I was dreaming with a baby. I have something magnetic with all the babies. I always meet a baby, our baby wanna be with me, and then was like, you know what, I want a baby. And maybe that was the extra motivation, the extra pull to give me to, and look, my baby, our babies have us around the world. Thanks to our baby, we are around the world, like around the world. I'm telling you, we have like the video of Araf dancing is in China. Is in China. I mean, it's in China. In the channels in China, you know.
It makes you so happy. My girlfriend was just talking about that the other day. I love their videos. They're
Russia, in Russia, bro. Is in every place, every go. We've been in Spain. No, in Spain it's crazy. In Panama, I was the guy who have like 5,000 followers. She used to have 11,000 followers. Now she have 200,000 followers. I'm almost 100,000 followers. You know, but just for that, it's not for something like extraordinary. It's just for the.
You give pleasure to people. Joy.
Exactly, and I think we bring the love. We bring love. It's spreading love everywhere, you know.
But I love it. But how is that as a fighter? Because you're fighting light heavyweight or heavyweight, light heavyweight. You're this big dude.
Exactly.
You're dancing on Instagram. Come on. So how does that? And you're knocking people out. How do you switch? How do you make that switch?
You know, that have nothing to do with you are still in the end of the day, you are still a human being. You know, in the end of the day, I'm still a human being. At the end of the day, I'm 25 years old. You know, when you go inside the ring, there's another thing. You know, you have to fight for your future. You have to fight for your family when you go there. So you don't mind anything just to win. Because if you lose, then things get a little bit slower for your future to get there. It's not mean it's over when you lose, but it means it's 2 or 3 steps back. You know? So when I go to the ring and I'm trying to go 100%. But when I'm with my family, I'm trying to be 1,000%.
I love that. So what's the future for you as a fighter?
Now I just fight like 2 weeks ago in Mexico, like doing a warming up fight because since Alexandra, I just stopped. That was a pretty good year. Also, I did 4 fights till from January to March. 4 knockouts. Wow. Then Alexander's coming in April, and then 7 months later, I fought again last week. I just fought last week in Mexico just to check how I'm feeling. So thanks God, it was pretty good at the second round knockout. So by the next year, start getting a bigger and better fight.
Are you ready now to make the big fights?
Yeah. Definitely.
And how has it been to work with Freddie Roach? How has that improved your boxing?
You know what? He's very specific guy. Freddie Roach is not the guy that he gonna scream or tell too many things. Like no, he see once thing is, to get to Freddie Roach, you have to be a talented guy. You have to be a hard worker. I don't want to say too talented guy, but you have to be a hard worker guy, right? So once you get there, you have to bring something. To get to Freddie Roach, you have to have something to propose him. Like he have to see something. Yeah. And from there, he just say, okay, you have this is your abilities. This is what the things that you are not that good, and these are your strongest. So let's work in this. Yeah. And then he just adjusts some things, and that's it. Yeah. It's not too many. Do this and that. So the training's like, no. It's like, okay, champ. Now trying to work in this move because this move is not doing very well, and it's like this.
Almost like the silent coach, right?
Exactly. Yeah. He's like, because, and I agree with that. Because you've been in there already. You've been in the position already, you know? So this is the good to work with him.
Good. So what have you learned? You've done a lot of camps with Triple G and other fighters that are very, very good. So what have you learned from fighting with these guys that are on the highest level? Discipline.
As long as you are a disciplined guy, things gonna work out. Yeah. Things gonna work out. It's mad. If you're disciplined, as you can see all the champions. You can see all their success. Why? Because it's not the same thing. Just work out, and then see as work out with a plan. And that's what they do. They had a plan. All of these champions, they have a plan. They follow the patron. They don't break any patron. They don't improvise things. Like, okay, now today we're gonna do this, and then the next day is like, oh, what are we gonna do today? Okay, today I'm gonna do this. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. They have a patron. They set up a plan. Yeah. 2 months before the fight, and they followed the exact plan right there. Boxing is very simple. I think I told you this before. Boxing is very simple things. It's just hit each other, and it's nothing else. 4 points. You have the jab, right hook, and uppercut. It's 4 punch. But what's the make a difference in this 4 punch? Who throw fastest and the strongest? Everybody gonna throw the same. You fight against me and you gonna throw the same punch. But who gonna be the winner here? Who throw faster and stronger? And then that's why that is when the training camp come. You've been in the training camp working in your strongest, trying to be the strongest, trying to be the faster in the training camp.
But isn't it timing too?
Yeah, but all that get into it. All that is together. Yeah. The timing, the stronger, the faster, all that together. So what I say is the disciplines to do that every single day, again and again and again and again and again and again. At some point, it's gonna be just mechanic. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to get into the flow.
Yeah.
And how is it with the goals? Do you think goals are important?
The goals in boxing?
Yeah, goals in your life and boxing, everything. To set goals.
You gotta set up goals. Because you are just a soul without direction. You're just living. You're just like a dead body, just walking. If you don't have goals, you are just a homeless good looking. Yeah. You're a homeless good looking. Yeah. You say homeless?
Yeah, homeless. Yeah.
They just around there. Yeah. And dirty. Yeah. But if you at least have a place, have a car, have all this thing, but you don't have a goals, and you just go to the work and do what you have to do to get paid, and that's it. You're just a homeless, a good looking, without direction. Homeless have no direction. It's sad, but you have no direction. Then you better set up goals. Set a goal.
So let's play a little game. I just have 2 or 3 more questions. So let's play a game. You're 87-year-old, Israel. You're sitting in your rocking chair. You're old now. and you're looking out, maybe in the ocean somewhere in Panama or Los Angeles, and you're thinking about your life. What do you want to have accomplished when you look back on your life?
One thing is the house for my mom.
House for your mom, yeah.
The house for my mom.
And hopefully not die in the ghetto.
Yeah. If I'm 18 years old, my mom's gonna be like 200 years old.
Yeah.
At that time. Man, I just want to give a pretty good education to my daughter. Yeah. This is one of the best thing. I would love to have that education and don't have to be fighting. Yeah. Have to be a pretty good at school, yeah, and university and all the things, and that maybe will make more easy to me, yeah, today. The, yeah, things I don't regret. I don't how do you say, I don't
regret fighting.
Yeah, to be in the fighting or to be in the boxing, any of that. No, I'm very grateful to that happened to me. God gave it that to me. Yeah. But also, we love to have that education.
Yeah. What do you want to study?
Whatever. Anything. You know what I really like? Filming and all the kind of stuff. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah. And I try it sometimes, but you need education. Yeah. But I think that's the most important. If you have the option, the opportunity to choose, if I have the opportunity to choose college and study in boxing, I will rather college and study another education, because that open the doors. I don't say that's open the doors yes or yes. Yeah. No. But that's have more opportunities.
I know what you feel like. Every boxer, every fighter, they want to fight, but they don't want to get hit, right?
Exactly.
So no one really wants to get hit.
Exactly.
You can like it maybe once, it can give you, but at the end of the day, you don't want to get hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the hard part of the business, right?
It is not just get hit. It's not about just only that. It's just because alone in the but by the end or by the latest years, you're gonna start feel the effect, yeah, of the boxing of the career or the sponge. They're not healthy, So you have to decide the right moment when to get out. Yeah. You can't just say, okay, I'm gonna be a boxer and fight till I have 15 years old. Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you have to be smart.
I think you have to be smart,
especially in the fighting business. You have to be smart and have tactics.
You have to be smart. You have to know your limits. Yeah. At some point, you just don't want to give up. But that's boxing about it. The guys always want to show they can do. They can. But you always can. Yeah. You always can. Maybe in your mind, yeah, but your body, physically, they can't no more. They can't.
That was almost my goal to stop early, And after I become a world medalist, I stopped, yeah, because I said, I love training. I'm going to train for the rest of my life. But even if I continue 10 more years, I'm not going to make any money. And could it become better? It's exactly, just new moments.
Exactly.
So it was time for me to do something else with my life. And I love what I did, that I competed for so many years. But
definitely,
I couldn't have even if I do it till, some people do it till 40, I don't think it's better. Exactly. Because you have to sometimes say, okay, this was a good run, let's move on to something else. And only you know when, and it's difficult to know when, because we like, as fighters, and
that's what I say. I say, I was you think you can. I was you think. I was you think.
You want to win, right?
You can. I can. Yeah, but you can. Yeah. People outside see you. You can more, and you have to accept that. And then that's the harder part, when you don't accept. So you have to you have to accept.
How do you know? How do you know when you can't anymore?
Exactly. Wow, you're getting beat up easier than before.
Yeah.
When you are getting touched by guys that you used to beat before, yeah.
But you don't want to go that far. That's the problem. I never want. That's why I didn't want to go to 35 or 40, exactly. Because I don't want to lose to an 18-year-old.
Exactly.
Like, what happened? And you used
So
to be
that's
the
it.
man,
Exactly, exactly. So those all the things, those all the thoughts that don't let you go.
Yeah.
The pride. You was like, no,
Yeah.
why? You know, but that's not smart.
Yeah.
That's not smart.
Yeah.
So what is the be smart? I said,
Yeah.
hey, bro, cool down.
Yeah, but you're still young. You still have some good fights in you.
You know what? I just decided. You know what? I will give this upcoming 5 years till 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm 25 now, so I will give my everything till 30, and but the most I can till 30. Because I want to enjoy my baby. You see how lovely she is. I want to play with her. I don't want my baby take care of me in a vegetal position, and she and her mom taking care of me. You know, that's gonna happen at any moment, at any time. Bad punch, boom, vegetal. You know. So I don't want that. I want to play with her because I know she has so much energy. She has so much talent. I can see. I can see she has so much talent. She has so much energy.
She's lovely.
She has 7 more years, 7 months only, and you can see all the energy. I can wait to play with her at soccer or whatever. You know. So I was like, you know what? I will give my everything. These upcoming 5 years. Trying to make the most money I can, to give her to have the established economic to her, to us, to her family, have the money for my mama house, and enjoy, because I know it's something else. Out of the box. You know, it's just about boxing. It's not everything about fight. I know it's more work to discover out of boxing. You know, and I know that it's more things out of the boxing games.
I like that, and I like that you're thinking already like this at 25. It's great. So one last question to you, Israel, that I ask all my all my guests, and that is, we love sharing stories, but at the end of the day, I want the person that are listening right now, they might be struggling with their life just like you did 2 years ago. What can you tell to them to get started right now with their dreams? What's the first thing they can do after listening to this podcast?
Listen, when I was at 18, when it was like 23, actually before they made my ex-manager, it was exactly like this. I had a friend, he was a coach, track field coach, right? And that night, I call him. He's like, hey, Cecilio, you know what? This thing is gonna change right now. He's like, what talking about? Like, I can't be like this no more. I can't be like this no more. I can be sleeping and listening all these bullets all night and thinking, worrying about my life, worrying about my mama life. Or if the police is gonna come, or the things, I can't be worrying about this anymore. From here, next year, that was my goal. Next year, I'm gonna be in TV. I'm gonna be in all the show and all those things. I set up a small goal, a small time goal. It was to be out of there. I didn't know how. I didn't know how.
But you decided, I'm going to do it.
I just decided. If you know how, just do it. Just doing things. And then and then you start thinking, yeah, but how you do it? If you have no money to go this and there, you know what? You attract people. If you do something, people see you. And when the people see you, people talk. When the people see you, people talk. But if you do nothing, if people don't see you, and people see you nothing, people don't have nothing to talk about it. So when I start going to the gym, I was boxing, I was fighter already. Yeah, but I don't show up to the gym, so nobody talk about me. So I start show up to the gym and make the effort, make the effort to go to the gym, to have the money to go to the gym, right? And when I start go to the gym, they start talking. Hey, Israel is back to the gym, and then dang, Israel is hitting back. Is hitting really hard the heavy bar. Whoa, Israel is doing the pretty fast the jump rope, and then from there they start talking and start talking and start talking, and then start getting in shape. And then once I start getting in shape, the modeling agency, the TV, who went to the gym, no, for me, for other guys, but they see me. And it was like, hey, that guy over there.
That's a sexy
exactly,
guy.
that's sexy, but he can fight and he can model.
Yeah.
From there, that's in my own experience. Oh, he can fight and he can model. So the guy, he can be both. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
You know, from there. And then, but everything starts with something. So you better do something.
Yeah, do something.
You better do something. Like, don't live complaining about things that about things that happen already.
Yeah.
Because that thing happened already.
Yeah.
Happened already.
Yeah.
So
That's
do things that make things can happen.
Yeah.
Make people talk. Make people talk. Even if good or bad. Better if it's good.
Yeah.
But make people talk about. Make people talk about.
Yeah. I love it.
So that's the best advice I can give you. Just make people talk. Make people talk. Do things. Don't stop. Do things. Because if people see you do things, they have something to say.
Yeah.
People have something to say. Yeah. But if you're laying in the bed, laying in the couch, waiting for that big opportunity, waiting for that something to say, something about you, that's not gonna happen, because I don't have nothing to say about you. If you are just laying there, yeah. people don't wanna say nothing.
It's so true. So
just do yeah. something for minimum, but just do. Start from something, yeah. and people gonna say something.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening in. And again, a big thanks to our sponsor, Heston's Beds Los Angeles. Heston's will change the way you sleep forever with the finest beds, mattresses, and bedding accessories in the world. If you're serious about success, you should be serious about your sleep. Check them out at hestonsla.com. I'm so grateful to be having this conversation with you, Israel, and to see your life unfolding. I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for sharing. To all the guests that are listening to this, if you enjoyed this episode, first of all, start doing something, just like Israel said. Get people talking, good or bad, hopefully good. Yeah, but at least people have an opinion. Yeah, you have to do. You can't just wait. You can't just wait around. And if you like this podcast, share it with your friends and family. If you want to check us out, you can go to ilsuccess.com. If you want to work with goal settings, you can read my book, The Goal Book. And that's about it. Thank you so much, Israel, again. And thank you, everybody.
You, man. Always my pleasure. You're like my brother. You know me very well. So I really appreciate all the support, all the motivation.
Thank you so much.
So thank you.